Hello once again, Niner Faithful, and welcome back to another episode of 49ers Playbook on the channel that's trying to answer the whys and hows of the game. The 49ers wrapped up their second preseason game against the Raiders with a win off of a 59-yard Jake Moody field goal. But the wins and losses in preseason aren't what we really care about. What we want to know is who's looking up, making noise, and who's not quite showing what we were hoping for. Chase Lucas continues to make a case to not only make the 53-man roster, but to push for significant playing time. Nick Martin showed flashes of what kind of player he can be in this system and reinforced why they drafted him. Alfred Collins and Connor Colby discovered that they're facing some tougher competition going forward and showed areas of needed growth. But let's jump to the film and see who are the risers and fallers from the second week of preseason. You're watching Johnny Dell's Football Academy. We'll start with Connor Colby and Alfred Collins. With the health status of Ben Bartch up in the air, Colby may be relied upon for a significant role this season. There was some not so good and some real good. Here it's third down, and in one-on-one pass pro, he doesn't anchor well enough and gets beat on a bull rush into Brock's lap, forcing an incomplete pass. Next, the Raiders are running a stunt game on a heavy pressure. Colby starts his assignment out correctly. The Raiders are bringing an overload blitz with 6 rushers against 5 blockers, so Colby has to pick up the first inside threat. But as his man slants across the center, he needs to halt his pursuit, step back with his left leg, and try and engage the blitzing linebacker and slow down his rush to buy his quarterback a little cleaner of a pocket. Next is another less than perfect pickup of a stunt. On this one, if you follow me on X, you may have already seen this, but I reached out to former 49ers offensive lineman John Feliciano about this play, and he remarked that both Colby and Spencer Burford have to set tighter against a front like this, anticipating some games, and Colby needs to use more extension in the arms, not burying his face into the defender, to keep aware sooner of the stunt and work to disengage from the defensive lineman who is holding him. It wasn't all bad though. He has shown the requisite foot speed to operate the run game of the 49ers. Here, we're running a wide zone and he's got a reach block on the one technique, or outside shade of the center, to cross his face and seal him off. The rest of the play is pretty rough, but you'll see Colby cross the face of the defender and recover and seal his man off. Here, he's one-on-one in pass protection and does a great job of engaging and shadowing, keeping his feet moving. So Alfred Collins was pretty much a mixed bag. He had some plays that were good but not great. Here, he's going to end up getting double teamed, and this is just something he wasn't used to at Texas, getting blown off the ball. So his recovery is lacking, and he's driven 10 yards off the ball. But it wasn't all bad. Here, the Raiders are at the goal line, and they're running a wedge run. They're going to triple team down to push the nose off and try and just stick the ball in behind the center. Collins has to hold up well enough to allow Kalia Davis and Valdez to drive inside their men and create a pile. Collins holds up well enough, and Davis and Valdez are able to create a pile. I want to take a quick moment to thank all of our members of JFA49.com. Your direct support makes content like this possible. We've had over 25 new members come on board since the last weekly review. For those who haven't heard this, videos like this are getting harder and harder, almost impossible to monetize. They allow them to be up without any issues, but they don't allow YouTube monetization. We're trying to add 75 new members to the members website to offset that and just stay even. So we need your support. Please consider becoming a member today to sponsor content just like this and keep this content public for the faithful. Thank you so much. Now, back to the film. Nick Martin has shown a lot of flashes of what he can be in this system. Here, Martin gets in on the sack, and again, the speed shows itself. We're running a sim pressure or simulated pressure where it looks like a blitz, but it's only rushing 4 by dropping a defensive end into coverage. This is a nice job by Alfred Collins to cross the face and draw him inside to open up space for Martin. Then here, we're in cover 3 zone, and the Raiders are running a slant flat, or in West Coast terms, a dragon concept. Darrell Luter hangs onto this slant a little too long, but you can see the closing speed that Martin has to make up ground. And on this play, he's in man coverage on the running back, but you can see him rally to the ball and the speed and violence he brings at impact. He does have a few things to clean up though. Here, they're running a drive concept with a swing pass. It creates a high-low stretch versus zone and rub action against man. Now, he is in a tough spot in his assignment. They're playing man coverage, but he has to understand he has inside help, and with 2 in-breakers before, they're going to have a running back to the flat, and he needs to get out to the edge with a little more urgency, as this allows a catch for a first down conversion. Another thing is we've seen this a few times, that he attacks with such speed that he'll sometimes play a little bit out of control, and he'll have some big whiffs in tackling. When it comes to Chase Lucas, he has had a really strong preseason in the slot, and what I like is he's growing each rep. Here we're in cover 3 buzz, and he's going to feign a slot blitz, then he's in a curl flat zone to work the curl area to the flat. Here, he needs to work to his zone drop with a little more urgency, as the outside corner has to pick up the vertical from the number 2 receiver, and this just allows an easy gain. But on the very next rep, this is literally the next play, you see the improvement. We're again in cover 3 buzz, and he's again going to feign a slot blitz while dropping into a curl flat zone. The Raiders are coming with a corner route and a quick out for a potential cover 2 stretch. But watch how now Lucas gets out to a zone drop with much more urgency and takes away the quick out, where Aiden O'Connell wanted to go with the ball, and it leads to a throwaway. Then he gets a big interception. We're in cover 1 man with a 5-man rush, and he's in the slot. He plays this with some nice nuance. He's going to start out head up on the slot receiver, then at the snap, determine leverage himself. He's not going to wait for the receiver to determine inside or outside leverage. He's going to determine inside leverage, then track Besh, and when he commits to an outbreaker, he undercuts the route and gets the pick. This is really, really nice work. Overall, the 49ers have had a good preseason, and they have young guys learning and competing for spots. It'll be really interesting how the final 53 and week 1 depth chart shakes out, but they have some strong options going forward, and it'll be fun to watch their growth throughout the season. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and like I mentioned earlier in the video, if you'd like to support the channel, I'll have links for that below. But until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and go Niners!